Hey everyone, we're flying along here in my rookie campaign on the road to 2K19 series, down here south of the New Orleans Pelicans. In the last episode, compounded by the declining play by Elfrid Payton, the New Orleans Pelicans coach Alfred Gentry has decided to roll with me in the starting lineup. And not only has Elfrid Payton's play declined, but we'll also flip over here to Tim Frazier, as he has had some horrid shooting performances, and overall has had trouble finding his footing down here with the New Orleans Pelicans this year. Those two having trouble finding their footing recently has opened up a starting spot for me at the point guard position, and it's going to be no easy test for me in my first NBA start, as I have to face one of the most explosive NBA players in Damian Lillard, averaging north of 26 points per game on the NBA this season. Not only do I have to face him, but I also have to face my friend, my hometown, the hometown hero Donovan Gray here, as he's battling through a wrist injury. As you look closely on his left wrist, he's taping that up, much to the chagrin of the Trailblazer staff, as they think that he should sit out. But if there's one thing about Donovan that I admire, is that he never likes to show how much pain he's in. He always likes to fight through these things. And on my first NBA possession as a starter, nice ball movement from the left wing inside as I record an assist to the always effective Julius Randle, averaging 17 and 8 on the season with a very high true shooting percentage. This one having trouble getting anything to go on offense, but a nice play as Anthony Davis sets an effective screen at the top of the key for me, as Julius Randle finds me on the cut and delivers an assist back to me. So kind of exchanging assists here for our first two baskets of the game. And now look at this, Donovan switches on me, but I do not take it on him. Instead, I let Julius Randle eat inside. So we're starting to cut into the deficit a little bit. Now it's one possession as I rip Evan Turner on the break. It's a 2-on-1 as I floated up over Donovan in the defense. As I can see, Donovan knows my tendencies. He thought I was going to pass it in to Randle, but instead I've gotten a lot more confident in shooting the ball as my rookie season goes on. And look at the lob inside Donovan, putting in the layup. He had a really nice performance in this one. And now in the second quarter, we're down by double digits, and getting back in the game is going to have to start on the defensive side of the floor as we get a block. On the other end, I get a jump shot from the baseline to fall. 3 of 6, 3 assists, 6 points overall, and of course, irping Evan Turner before, according to my 1 steal. In the corner, however, Donovan Gray trying to silence any momentum we have, as the Portland Trailblazers are keeping us at bay here in my first NBA start. Coming up the floor, however, Evan Turner's still on me. I know he's an inferior defender as I attack. And despite having about 6 inches on me, Evan Turner still is not tall enough and does not apply enough defensive pressure from stopping me in making that layup. On the other end of the floor, Donovan putting in another tough layup as he is fighting hard. Still perfect from the floor, 4-4. High pick roll, me and Stanley Johnson. I'm glad I'm getting more minutes with Stanley Johnson despite not being a starter, because Johnson has provided a lot of assists for me as he moves well without the ball. After knocking down a couple free throws to push my scoring totals to double digits, now I find myself on defense as I've been doing a good job on Damian Lillard as I force another miss there. Up the floor, quick look inside as I bullet that pass inside to AD as he flushes it down with a ferocious slam. Now it's Donovan. No good from the baseline, but he's fighting, he's working. It's a scrum inside, but Donovan excels in that kind of game as he has remained resilient on the offensive glass and puts it in. Lead back to double digits. Inside a nerf kick as he gets the N1 to fall, and in turn I would hit the bench for a while. The lead is 14 now, but it would grow to 17 at the beginning of the fourth. So we need to try to provide a spark here, and it's really both sides of the basketball have been a problem. Only 60 points, 61 points I should say, between the first 3 quarters. That's a problem. But you guys know I try to be a spark plug. Now I got Donovan on me. He's playing me tough, real tough inside. I try to take him, barely rimming out for an and 1. I think the refs bailed me out on that one. Great defense by Donovan. He looks like he's in disbelief that they blew the whistle on that call. But I go to the line in hopes of knocking down some more free throws. First one is up, and that'll sink in. I would end up knocking down both as well. Elfrid Payton would check in off of my free throw, and it seems like, yeah, every time that he's in the game, the ball movement is just not there despite being a pass-first point guard in Elfrid Payton. The ball is just a lot more stagnant, and it seems like he tries to do too much with it a lot. Now leads to 15, and I try to make a play here, ripping CJ McCollum, taking it all the way, hacked by Zach Collins on the fast break. This is good, man. Getting a lot of fouls, free throws, stopping the clock. This is what we need to do here in the fourth quarter if we're going to try to rebound. Right now I'm at 12-5 from my first NBA start. Nothing crazy, but definitely a very productive game so far. Donovan taking it strong to the tin once again as he is trying to slam the door on us, trying to spoil my first NBA start. But I can't blame him. If I was in his shoes, I'd be trying to do the same thing. Now, the baseline has been very friendly to me overall my rookie season as I find another open look from the baseline. The lead is decreasing very slowly yet surely as I grab my first rebound and we're off to the races. Crossover, handed off to Elfrid Payton. See, I'm trying to make this thing work with him. I have no problems trying to combine our talents in order to win games, but it seems like Elfrid Payton does not share that same mentality. For the third time in this game, Donovan gets switched on to me. Try double cross, moving left, cross it back right. Great defense inside by Donovan as he forces a miss, and that's not easy to do because my finishing is probably one of my best aspects of my game. And in the first half, we had trouble closing down the interior of the Blazers. Here in the second half, the problem lies with the three-pointers that we're giving up. Now I cut off the screen, finish with the layup. I'm trying to keep us in this game, but you know, another three-pointer falls for the Blazers, making the lead 17 now. Damian Lillard leaves the baseline wide open as he was really overplaying that screen from Anthony Davis. 20 points for number 20 here in my first NBA start. 7 assists as I increase that total on this possession as well. A little give-and-go action inside of Drew Holiday. That's 8 assists now. Can I get to 20 and 10 in my first NBA start? Well, we gotta see. I lob it up to Julius Randle. Him and I have really become a solid foundation as I throw a lot of my assists to JR. Inside, now it's Anthony Davis handing me my 10th assist. But unfortunately, it'd be too little too late. Stats are one thing. We could not pull it out here in Portland County. Donovan spoiling my NBA debut as a starter. But hey, I can't blame him. Just look at his stats once we get to that screen, as unfortunately I have to watch the Blazers celebrate in my NBA debut. I led all scorers with 22 as I put in another basket in garbage time. Recorded 10 assists, 2 steals, really good shooting percentage overall. Elfrid Payton, decent game but with 4 turnovers, under 50% shooting. And let's take a look at Donovan's stats. He was a man amongst boys today, almost recording a triple-double. And he was rewarded the Jordan Brand Player of the Game. Despite being only in his second NBA career, or season I should say, Donovan has been far from a sophomore slump and might be in the running for the All-Star game. Gotta stay tuned for that till the end of the episode. And in the meantime, let's take a look at our first trade of the season that the Pelicans have made. They shipped off Tim Frazier as there was a bit of a logjam at the point guard position. Frazier, Payton, and myself all trying to vie for some minutes. They shipped him off to Denver and in return get Torrey Craig, a 6'7" wing who excels on the defensive side of the ball. He plays college ball at South Carolina Upstate, went undrafted, but has carved out a role with Denver. You guys know me, I love this move. You can never have enough defense. I'm old-fashioned like that. Now, for the first time, I'm going to be playing in front of the New Orleans Pelicans fans as a starter. So I'm going to let the PA announcer take over.
Starting at small forward, 6 feet 4 inches, number 55, Etwan Moore. Starting at point, at 6 foot 0 inches, number 20, number 18, inches, number 23, Anthony Bates.
My first start here at the Smoothie King Center, and hey, even better, I got Jose Calderon trying to guard me in this one, so a very favorable matchup for myself. But they do switch Blake on me for the first play, but I still zoom past him, and I finish over top of the defense. Now Andre Drummond tries a three, bricks it, and I grab a rebound. Already minutes into the game, and I already have 2 buckets in the game as well, this time coming from a floater. Detroit has had plenty of injuries in their backcourt, including Reggie Jackson, so I'll be sure to try to take advantage of that. Very advantageous matchup indeed. High screen roll with Anthony Davis. As he finishes over, he's such a special player, that guy. Very happy that I can start my NBA career in the likes of him, or with the likes of him, I should say. I give a jab to Jose, go baseline, dish it out to AD, and look at this creative finish, a circus shot from AD. Gifting me with an incredible assist. I've had a couple of comments asking me what's going to happen to Anthony Davis in the series with the trade to the Lakers. And honestly, I'm just going to let it play out. You know, I want my 2K world to be totally separate from the real world. And I got 2 reasons for that. One, New Orleans, my Pelicans right now, we're about 5th in the West right now. We're competing. It's not like we're trying to rebuild, you know what I'm saying? And 2, Anthony Davis's contract, he only has 2 more years, well, about 1.5 now in my series. Not this offseason, but in the upcoming offseason after that. Anthony Davis' contract expires and he'll be an unrestricted free agent, so it'll be very interesting to monitor that, and could be an interesting storyline in the series. As you can see, I mean, we're a top 10 team in the power rankings, so there's no reason to rebuild and try to sell guys to try to rebuild, you know what I'm saying? As I remain perfect in the field, catching in on a layup, I rip Blake Griffin off to the races. And how about a no-look pass inside to Julius Randle, as we are feeling ourselves here in my first NBA start in front of these adoring fans, as the lead swells to 21 after that layup. And everyone in the starting lineup, everyone off the bench starting to get some minutes here in garbage time. Another shot from the baseline. That baseline's been really good to me in my career. The lead would swell to 30 at that point, and there was just no looking back for your New Orleans Pelicans. My first NBA start is success, not only from my perspective, but from the team standpoint as well, as we come in here, take care of business against the decimated Detroit Pistons. 105-80 is your final. 14 points, 8 assists, 1 steal, and only 1 missed shot while Jose Calderon was guarding me. It was really easy pickings today. Just all my shots came within the flow of the offense, and my roommate, Jahlil Okafor, also had a good game. And as you can see, our schedule gets nothing but harder as we face 4 potential playoff teams after this easy game against the Pistons, and we took care of business in every single one, except we came up short in the Houston game. But as you can see, my stats are starting to rise. A couple shaky games here and there, but some growing pains are to be expected as my first starts. You know, for a 22-year-old who was a 2nd-round pick, it's natural for me to not always play my best, but consistency will come over time the more games I get in an NBA jersey. And we also have a rematch against the OKC Thunder. Starts, and I played well, and we beat them on their home court. But now they're going to be looking for revenge, and you guys saw the record. 43-13, one of the top teams in the entire NBA, 2nd in the West. This is a pivotal game in terms of playoff position. As you can see here, we're about 4.5 games back from them. Very solid season overall for us, as we're 5th in the West right now. If the playoffs were to start today, so a decent standing for us, definitely over expectations. And let's get started with the gameplay. So I drive in, Anthony Davis pops out and receives the pass. I took 2 defenders with me, so it's about as easy as it gets right there. That first dime on the day was pretty conventional, but this one, I would have a little bit of more flair, I should say. Ball reversal goes to Westbrook in the corner, but I take that from in air. I say, give me that, and I zoom that pass, fitting it into traffic up to Julius Randle. That one definitely had a lot more pizzazz on it per se. Not as conventional as the first assist, no way. So now we're holding a 1-possession game. one possession lead. Give a little cross to Russell Westbrook, and I finish with the green light at the rim. Let's take another look at that one. As we had numbers on the break, a little behind the back, had Russell leaning, and he opened up space to the paint, finishing over Jeremy Grant. Still a one possession game, this time in OKC's favor as they hold a 3-point advantage. Now I have Raymond Felton on me, so I decide to take it. They provide help, and I whip another pass inside. Julius Randle with a two-handed slam over the defense, including the athletic Nerlens Noel. Very impressive right there, showing off the bunnies. Lead remains 3. Off a screen as I pull it from the elbow. More green lights for me today as I have 4, 4, and 3. And let's take a look at the halftime stats as well. So 47-42 Thunder, they're up, and we really need to get more stops. We're forcing turnovers, but they're still shooting north of 60%. I'm holding Westbrook in check, only 9 and 4 for him on the day. On this play, look at the dish inside to AD, or from AD inside to me, as I'm now on the board in the second half as well. On the last possession, AD passed out of his jump shot to me, so I decided to return the favor on this one. Off the mark from Jeremy Grant from the baseline, I pass out of my jump shot inside, and I return the favor to AD. The big Kentucky native flushes that one down. And now on this possession, it's still a 3-point game. We need some sort of spark. Good defense inside. That's the type of defense we need to have here in the second half. On the break, Russell steps up to guard me. I almost made him fall. I made him stumble so hard. Light bulbs flashing from the audience, capturing that moment, as you guys are going to see that one on YouTube for years to come. Almost making him fall, not quite, but I really had him stumble and almost made him touch the floor there, as he was really reeling on that defensive possession. He can only foul me. Disappointment on his face as he just let a second-round draft pick rookie that no one's heard of take his ankles. Definitely need to deliver at the free throw line after a play like that, and I do. I'm a little light on the scoring today, so I want to be sure to improve that as time goes on, as we do need a little bit of a lift on the offensive side of the floor. As you see, the ball goes out of bounds off of a block. It is an 8-point Thunder lead, and this will be the time where I hit the bench. Can the bench unit provide a spark? Yes, they can. Elfrid Payton does deliver with the second unit, giving us the lead back as the fourth quarter resumes. Hamidou Diallo turns it over, and now we're off to the break. Another steal for me on the game. Just a simple little handoff to AD. No, I actually take this one myself. Normally, I would dish that off to AD, but this time I decide to keep it for myself, and I deliver with the layup. Randle driving. Look at the finish, the and one, as I pick him up off the floor, brush him off, and I'm hyping up my boy. You guys know I like to be the spark plug. You guys know I try to be that energizer role. As you guys know, I'm not the biggest, I'm not the fastest, but I just try to provide a lot of energy and really spark my teammates. The lead is still 6. I forced another miss on Russell Westbrook, as he's not had the best day against me. Keep my eyes open up the floor. That is Drew Holiday who tries it from the corner. No good. But I move without the ball, and I see Drew Holiday, in fact, flashing to the corner. I give him another chance, and he makes that good from 3. A monumental shot this late in the ball game, as we've got 4 minutes left to play. The lead could be double digits if we can score on this possession. Inside to AD. He passes out of his shot again. He finds me on that baseline that has been so good for me, knocking down shot after shot from that 12 to 15 foot range, just inside of the baseline. Now OKC starts to press. As you can see, we have them reeling. I go to the basket. I get hacked by Russell Westbrook, and that full court press, you know what that means in 2K language? That means easy points. So we're going to have to keep the pressure on. Can't play complacent, even with a 12-point lead. In 2K, we got to push the ball against that press. First free throw goes. These are big shots to really seal the game, and I go 2 for 2. About 2 minutes left. AD brings double team out to Drew Holiday. Dagger. Looks like we're going to knock off one of the top teams in the NBA on our home floor. Once again, we beat them in OKC land a couple games back, and we replicate our performance on our home floor, fueled by that big bench performance at the end of the third and in the beginning of the fourth. That's what really propelled us forward in this win. Even though Elfrid Payton's a bit of a rival right now, definitely have to credit him as a big role in why we knocked off these OKC Thunder once again. Decent stat game overall, 15, 8, 4 steals, only 2 missed shots, 3 or 4 from the line. I'm really just trying to let the offense come to me. There's been times early on in my NBA career, and even if back in my days at Texas where I try to do too much, so I don't want to be a lot of young players. A lot of young players do that. They get caught up in trying to do too much, so I can't be one of those guys. I have to let the game come to me like a very mature point guard, and this one will help us maintain form as we still sit 5th in the West right now. We're in a prime spot. We're fighting for that 4th spot with the Thunder right now, only 2 games back. We'll scroll down here, and as you saw, Portland up there in a prime position to get a top 3 seed. Mavericks down here, struggling in Deshaun's rookie campaign. And one of the big surprises of the NBA, somehow, someway, Ferran is propelling the Heat, carrying them, willing them to a playoff seed right now, as they're trying to hold off the Brooklyn Nets. 2.5 games up on them for that 8th seed. So Ferran is really turning heads in Miami, but it might be time for him to get out of there. Ferran loves that spotlight. He loves playing in premier moments, and honestly, as an 8th seed in the playoffs, or on the edge of the playoffs, he's not going to get that spotlight, so who knows? He might be leaving soon. And I stop it here because we are finally at the All-Star break. Time to take a look at some of the All-Star participants. Ferran, Deshaun, Donnie, and I, we all missed out on our chance this year, but hey, freshmen and sophomore guys were definitely some of the youngest bright stars in the league, so definitely keep on watch. We'll be racking up a lot of these All-Star games later on in our career. But the chance we finally have to make an All-Star appearance in the Rising Stars game, you see Donovan has made the USA team. Quick look at his stats, 16-10 in his second NBA season. Marking in every category well. And look at that, I'm joining Donovan and playing in the USA game. But we scroll down here, and we got Donovan and Deshaun joining us in this exciting All-Star game, or the Rising Star game, showing off some of the youngest, brightest stars in the NBA today. Quick look at Ferran and Deshaun's stats, both very respectable performances night in and night out. So in the next video, the Road to 2K19 series, all 4 of us are going to be teaming up and trying to take down the World roster, which has a couple big names itself. It's got guys like Ben Simmons, Lauri Markkanen, Luka Doncic, a whole bunch of guys that'll try to spoil the fun, but it should be a very intriguing game to watch indeed. First time all 4 of us are going to be on the same team in the series, so I can't wait to partake in that. Sorry about being ghost mode for a little bit these last couple weeks. I had to finish up school, had to excel in the last couple weeks. I should be pretty active for the next month and a half until I take another hiatus, and we'll discuss that more at a later date. It's gonna be a big opportunity for me, and I can't wait to tell you guys what I got planned. So stay tuned, and in the next episode, we will be partaking in the Rising Stars contest. Me, Donovan, Ferran, and Deshaun, all teaming up. Stay tuned.